Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Please watch my video now. Our topic is 20 ways to handle people who act high and mighty. Dealing with people who act high and mighty, those who adopt an arrogant, superior attitude, can be challenging. They might talk down to others, act condescendingly, or believe they are more important or knowledgeable than everyone else. Here are 20 ways to handle such individuals, with explanations for each approach. 1. Stay calm and composed. Don't let their attitude provoke you into responding emotionally. Keeping your cool can maintain your dignity and often disarm someone who expects a reaction. 2. Don't take it personally. Their arrogance often reflects their own insecurities, not a reflection of your worth. Understanding this can help you not internalize their behavior. 3. Set boundaries. Let them know what behavior is unacceptable. Be clear and assertive, but not aggressive. Boundaries keep you from being mistreated. 4. Use active listening. Sometimes, people with a high and mighty attitude just want to be heard. Show that you're listening attentively, and it might reduce their need to assert dominance. 5. Maintain your self-worth. Stand firm in your own value, regardless of their condescending attitude. If you maintain your own self-respect, it's harder for them to diminish your confidence. 6. Respond with confidence. If you need to engage, do so with self-assurance. Responding confidently, without arrogance, can help level the power dynamic and show them you're not intimidated. 7. Don't engage in their drama. Avoid getting pulled into unnecessary power struggles. If they try to provoke you, don't take the bait. Keeping the interaction neutral can diffuse their attempts to dominate. 8. Ask thoughtful questions. People who act superior often expect others to defer to them. By asking insightful or probing questions, you challenge their sense of authority in a subtle way. 9. Use humor to deflect. A well-placed, non-sarcastic joke can break the tension and subtly point out the absurdity of their behavior without confrontation. Humor can disarm arrogance. 10. Practice empathy. Understanding that their behavior may be rooted in insecurity, fear, or a need for validation can help you respond with more patience, rather than frustration. 11. Don't mirror their attitude. It can be tempting to match arrogance with arrogance, but this only escalates the situation. Keep your behavior respectful and grounded. 12. Reframe the situation. Instead of seeing them as high and mighty, frame the interaction as a learning opportunity. You might gain insight into how you don't want to behave in similar situations. 13. Use body language to show confidence. Standing tall, making eye contact, and keeping a calm posture conveys self-assurance without words, signaling that you won't be intimidated. 14. Know when to walk away. If the person is particularly toxic, sometimes the best response is to disengage. Walk away from the conversation or situation gracefully, preserving your own peace of mind. 15. Don't be afraid to challenge them. If you feel it's appropriate and necessary, politely challenge their assumptions or statements. This can put them in a position where they must justify their claims, showing them they're not infallible. 16. Don't try to outdo them. It's easy to fall into a competitive mindset, but trying to one-up someone who acts superior only reinforces their need for dominance. Stay grounded in your own worth. 17. Stay professional and objective. If you're in a work setting, keep the conversation professional and focused on the facts. Avoid getting personal or reacting to their inflated ego, which can escalate tension. 18. Find common ground. Try to connect on neutral, less competitive topics. Finding a shared interest or common value can humanize the interaction and reduce the us versus them mentality. 19. Acknowledge their good points. When appropriate, if they've actually accomplished something or have knowledge to share, acknowledging it, without flattery, can reduce defensiveness and create a more balanced dynamic. 20. Give them space. If someone is consistently acting superior, it may be helpful to give them some space. Sometimes, a person's inflated sense of self-importance diminishes when they feel less pressure or attention. Final thoughts. Navigating interactions with high and mighty people requires patience, tact, and self-awareness. It's important to protect your own emotional boundaries while managing the situation in a way that doesn't escalate tensions. By using these strategies, you can maintain your composure, keep the interaction respectful, and avoid falling into a pattern of negative exchanges. Certainly. Here are additional strategies for handling people who act high and mighty, expanding on the initial list with more nuanced approaches. 21. Be neutral and non-reactive. Sometimes, the best way to deal with someone who is acting superior is to remain neutral. Don't give them the emotional reaction they crave, as this might prompt them to act even more arrogantly to provoke you. 22. Challenge their assumptions privately. If you feel their attitude is based on incorrect assumptions or biases, consider addressing it in a private conversation. People may feel less defensive when they aren't put on the spot in front of others. 23. Understand their motivations. Often, people act high and mighty because they feel threatened, insecure, or anxious. By understanding why they act this way, you can approach them with greater empathy or adjust your approach to handle the situation more effectively. 24. Model humility. Instead of engaging in a battle of egos, model humility yourself. Demonstrating modesty and the ability to admit when you're wrong can subtly highlight the contrast between your behavior and theirs, making them seem less admirable. 25. Praise their efforts, not their ego. If you must acknowledge something they've done, focus on the work or the effort rather than inflating their self-image. Complimenting their accomplishments is fine, but avoid reinforcing their inflated sense of self-worth. 26. Find the right time to express your concerns. Timing is key when dealing with someone who acts superior. If their behavior is disrupting the group or creating issues, wait for a time when they're more open to feedback and the setting is more conducive to a constructive conversation. 27. Use I statements to diffuse confrontation. If you feel the need to confront them, use I statements to express your feelings without accusing them. For example, I feel uncomfortable when the conversation feels dismissive, rather than, you're being arrogant. 28. Redirect their attention. If they're monopolizing the conversation or making it all about themselves, redirect the conversation to include others. You can steer the discussion toward collective goals or interests that make their superiority seem less relevant. 29. Remain focused on solutions. If the person's attitude is causing friction, try to focus the conversation on solutions rather than engaging with their personal demeanor. This keeps the discussion productive and can sometimes help lower their walls. 30. Be prepared for manipulation. Some people with an inflated sense of self-worth may resort to manipulation to maintain control. Stay aware of subtle tactics like guilt-tripping, playing the victim, or gaslighting. Identifying these behaviors can help you handle the situation without being swayed. 31. Don't seek their approval. If you stop seeking validation from someone who constantly exudes a sense of superiority, it reduces their power over you. People who act high and mighty often feed off the desire of others to gain their approval. 32. Redirect their arrogance toward constructive feedback. If they start to belittle others, subtly redirect them toward more constructive forms of feedback. For example, if they say something dismissive, you could say, "That might not be the most helpful way to put it. Have you considered this perspective?" 33. Call out inappropriate behavior. Respectfully, sometimes, people need to be reminded of their manners. If they overstep, interrupt, or belittle others, a calm but direct comment like, "Let's make sure everyone has a chance to speak," can put them in check. 34. Use silence effectively. If they make a pompous or condescending statement, a brief moment of silence can make them feel uncomfortable, as it indicates that their words aren't having the desired effect on you. Silence is often a powerful way to challenge inflated egos. 35. Refuse to enter power struggles. High and mighty individuals often thrive on power dynamics. Refusing to engage in power struggles can prevent them from gaining satisfaction from pushing your buttons. Keep things level-headed and avoid one-upping them. 36. Led by example. Sometimes, the best way to handle someone with a superiority complex is by leading with integrity and kindness. Your behavior can serve as a silent challenge to theirs, proving that respect and humility can exist without arrogance. 37. Give credit where it's due. If the person has achieved something notable, acknowledging their achievements in a straightforward and unflattering way can reduce their need to brag. This might help them shift focus from seeking attention to contributing more humbly. 38. Use reverse psychology with caution. In some cases, you can use reverse psychology to disarm an arrogant person. For example, If they're dismissive of an idea, you could say, "I guess you probably already know the answer, given how much experience you have in this area," in a non-sarcastic tone. This may cause them to reconsider their stance and become more open. 39. Empower others in the room. If you're in a group setting and someone is acting superior, empower the quieter or less dominant voices in the room. Asking others for their opinions or creating space for them can subtly disrupt the person's attempt to dominate the conversation. 40. Choose your battles wisely. Not every interaction with a high and mighty person is worth addressing. Sometimes, ignoring their behavior or walking away can save you emotional energy and time, especially if their attitude doesn't directly impact you or the situation at hand. 41. Take the high road when in doubt. Rise above their behavior. By staying grounded and choosing to take the high road, you send a message that you won't stoop to their level. This makes you appear more graceful and confident while showcasing their need for superiority. In contrast, 42. Avoid reinforcing their ego. Some people thrive on constant reinforcement of their ego. Avoid excessive compliments or overpraising them, as it may fuel their sense of superiority. Keeping praise genuine and appropriate can prevent them from inflating their ego further. 43. Practice detachment. Try to detach emotionally from the interaction. When you don't allow their superiority complex to affect your mood, it makes it harder for them to manipulate or frustrate you. 44. Recognize when it's time to end the relationship. If someone consistently acts in an arrogant, condescending way and your attempts to address it don't lead to positive change, it may be time to distance yourself from the relationship. Not all people are open to feedback, and some will only perpetuate negative behaviors. 45. Seek support if necessary. If you're dealing with someone particularly difficult or manipulative, talking it over with a trusted friend, colleague, or therapist can help you get perspective. They may offer strategies you hadn't considered and provide emotional support in handling the person. By expanding your toolkit of responses and strategies, you can deal with people who act high and mighty in a way that maintains your own emotional well-being while minimizing unnecessary conflict. The goal is to be assertive, respectful, and, when necessary, protective of your space and values. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. God bless everyone.